everyone, and welcome back to WCNC Charlotte at 9 o'clock. You can see there we, of course, are starting to wrap up this pretty minimal impact event, which we've been talking about for a few days now. On the scale of winter storms, this is really at the bottom, which we do like, I guess, for the first one of 2024. Although I think everybody could agree we wish there was a little bit more snow, as that's been virtually zero across the area. Still light freezing rain for the mountains and foothills, which is starting to taper off now. Still some low end travel impacts for those folks, but most of this will change over to rain by the latter half of the morning, eventually drying out this afternoon. No travel issues expected across the Queen City from any of those impacts, of course. And then the rest of the day, chilly, raw, and cloudy. So I wouldn't say the best day to get outside, but hey, at least the moisture will start to end. Now, we've talked a little bit about why we're not expecting to see, again, snow in the mountains this morning and really any kind of notable freezing precipitation across the rest of the Piedmont. And it really has everything to do with high pressure. As it slipped offshore yesterday, the southeasterly wind around it has really pumped in a lot of warm air. Now, I know warm is relative because, of course, we're in the 40s today, and right now temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, but you need cold air below 32 degrees, essentially in simplest meteorological terms, at every single layer to have snow. And of course, you need some of those colder temperatures too to mix in sleet and freezing rain. Well, we just haven't had a lot of that across the Piedmont, if any. I saw some signatures this morning that we had a little bit of that in the higher levels, but as soon as they warmed through some of those warmer layers, turned into a cold rain. So right now, we only have this action going on in the mountains and foothills. You can see a tiny bit of pink there, southern Burke County, on the northern end there of Alexander into Caldwell, and of course Ashwaubenon and Avery into Wilkes County too. By about 10 o'clock, all of that is cleared out. 11, we're starting to see rain taper off in the Sandhills. 12 o'clock, tapering off in the rest of the Piedmont, and then by 1, most areas are dry. Now again, you saw the cloudy, raw, chilly kind of last little line there on my headlines map. I know it's not the best news, but temperatures will still only be in the 40s today, maybe even the 30s in cross portions of the mountains. So it's still going to be a pretty chilly day. Still not the best day to be outside. So maybe a good day to read a book, take a nap. That's what I'll be doing later, or maybe get some to-do list items done. Tomorrow morning, we have a secondary strong northwesterly wind. That burst is going to allow for some quick snowfall to develop. So we'll watch that. Really exciting tomorrow morning. That'll be mostly in the morning before wrapping up in the afternoon. Elsewhere is clear. Here's an updated look at the ice accumulation map. I did clear out the dark pink, so now we're just looking at the light to even moderate colored pink. The reason why this is notable is that about 1/10 of an inch, it's typically not enough to see power outage issues, whereas 1/4 of an inch is. So this is a little bit lower, but still in the same areas, the eastern escarpment of the mountains and into the foothills. After today's rainfall, all eyes look ahead to our next chance of rain, which comes on Tuesday. It's very typical with a nor'easter winter setup to see storm systems every 2 to 3 days. It's just because of a more active storm track, and our next one comes on Tuesday. But just because you see storm tracks doesn't mean they're all treated the same. Tuesdays looks to be warmer, strong jet stream, which means the potential for severe weather, gusty winds, and heavy rain. So that's the next system we're watching, even the potential for folks to stay weather aware. So keep that in the back of your mind. After that, our next chance of rain comes on Friday, so that every 2 to 3 days is certainly true, Kaylin, for the next week.